I wasn't really expecting to start this YouTube channel. When I did, it kind of just happened. It's something that has just been festering in the back of my mind for some time now, and I always had the idea just on the back burner, and I finally did it, so this video is not going to be anything too crazy. I intend to cover a range of topics that generally interest me, including psychology, philosophy, science, spirituality, culture, and maybe even current events. I haven't really decided yet, but the point is that I love the idea of sharing knowledge. I've been a consumer of knowledge for so long, I've never oriented myself towards sharing knowledge. And that's what I'm here to do with this channel. So enjoy this Minecraft gameplay that I've included for you to enjoy, and I'm sure there will be plenty to laugh at with how miserable my attempt is at creating a survival world. Something that I think will come in handy as I expand this is my journals. Now, this is something I started pretty seriously in 2021 or 2022. So it's been around a half a decade since I started journaling almost every day. This is something that completely transformed my life. To anyone out there that hasn't picked this up, I would totally recommend, at a bare minimum, just opening your mind to giving it a try. I was the same way when I first started out, with the mindset of, oh, I don't need to do this. This isn't going to benefit me. This is a waste of time. I didn't want to sit every single night and devote that time to creating journal entries. Until I did. What made it fun was removing the constraints. When I first started journaling, I placed so many constraints on what I should write and how I should write it that it just wasn't enjoyable. As soon as I got rid of those constraints and let my mind relax and wander, that's when I started seeing the real benefit. There was no pressure. It didn't matter what I wrote. And if I didn't like it, I could always tear the page out. That being said, I don't think I've torn any pages out. Maybe one now that I think of it. But the point is, it gave me so much to look back on. Every day, at any point, I can open up a journal from any year going back to when I started and see my thoughts or cool things that I decided to write in my journal from any given time period. I can look back on things that I was struggling with. I can understand how big those problems were to me at the time and realize how small they feel now looking back. I've compiled so many principles, concepts, lifestyle changes, and other valuable ideas in my journal. It has become a resource for my own mind to look back on, an archive per se, of whatever I found interesting at the time and whatever might become useful to me later. And I think more people need to have that experience. Around when I started journaling, I was also investing in many different aspects of my life that I previously never paid much attention to. Diet, exercise, sleep, emotional regulation, and intelligence. It was a period of massive change in my life. Scary, but necessary. And it shaped who I am today. It only makes sense that the first topic I dive into is behavioral change. This is such a simple yet overlooked concept for so many people. I mean, just going about my day-to-day life, I can't tell you the amount of times that I talk to people or run into people who are just falling into the same patterns over and over and over again, complaining about the patterns they fall into, and then making jarring adjustments that don't stick because they're too overwhelming for the mind's instilled habits. It's so much more effective to start small but consistent. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. Habit formation is already designed to increase efficiency in completing mundane tasks and conserve neural energy, but it can be a double-edged sword. It can and is used to implement positive routines, but it can also reinforce negative ones. Now, most of these people have completed the first and most important step that I also struggle with often, which is awareness. Just admitting or being aware of something is the first step to changing it. Arguably, the hardest part is taking action. And if we're taking action that was destined to fail to begin with, we're just negatively reinforcing that pattern in our mind, decreasing the likelihood that we expect it to work the next time around. Personally, that kills my motivation pretty quick. which is why it's so important to approach it methodically. Again, if you are deciding to make vast, sweeping changes in a short amount of time, it's like telling your mind, hey, let's go climb this cliff without a harness. You better expect to fall at some point if you're not properly trained. Now, implementing smaller aspects of a larger change that you want to see is more like telling your brain, hey, we're going to climb this hill. It's a lot easier to take the first step of climbing a hill without a harness than it is to convince your brain to climb up a mountain without one. Step by step, however slow, you're going to make more meaningful progress than the climber who falls off the side of the cliff and has to start all over again. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you continue down this path of abrasive change that isn't compatible with the way that our minds adapt. Well, hopefully this was a little bit insightful and offers you something of value. I hope to do it again soon, and we'll see what happens. Bye now.